Hello everybody, welcome to Paris. I'm at the Porte de Versailles for Rétromobile 2024, and I think it's going to be pretty overwhelming. I've never been there, so let's go see what's in hall number 1. Look at this, the British Motor Museum has brought the crown jewels. 33 EJB, the Monte Carlo winner. Wow, one of the most important minis in the world. Look how many lights are on the front of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lights. Wow. Original heated windscreen with the element in there. The spotlight up on the top. What a wonderful little mini. Okay, let's have a look inside this original Rally Mini. There's so much to see, so much to take in. All the switch gear. I mean, starting on the left-hand side, we see original fuses that are internally mounted. I see an optical unit. There's a speedo. Yeah, I love this. These switches that are long and easy reach. See that? That's only part of the Rally package. Don't know, dipper switch maybe? But it uses a standard heater. That's pretty cool. Original tag there from when it raced. Wow, what a treat. Of course, we got pads here in the doors, an unusual passenger seat, and a very standard style looking driver's seat. Yeah, the 1964 Monte Carlo Mini. What a treat it is to be here in Paris, and so nice of Gaydon and the Motor Museum to bring it here for everybody to see. Having a look at the twin tanks here. See, it's supported from the rash with a piece of ply there, and pretty standard looking inside. I'm not sure what these series of tubes are. Do you know what that is? That for an extra tire to slide in there maybe? I'm not sure. And interesting looking mount here for the rear tire. That is not, I don't think that's quite standard, something from the works. But you can see the paint there, the original paint on this Mini. It looks like it had white primer at some point, like a lot of the Jags I see. Wow. Wow, look at Girardo Co, Max Girardo, the XRM auction here. He's brought a to die for collection of Ferraris, and this has to be the most impressive display here. It's hard to beat this, because in front of me is a 1953 375mm Mille Pininfarina. On the main stand, we have 250 GTO 64 back in its Targa Florio livery. Look at that. Amazing. Beautiful, just as it appeared at the Targa Florio. Thank you. Wow, let's have a look at the GTO 6 downdraft Weber carbs. Venerable 250 GTO engine designed by Colombo. You can see the way the hood's manufactured here. Got the skin, got a metal skin and I think an aluminum skin, because it's welded right on the, welded all the way down there. See if we have a look inside, we'll go around. Guy got the shot. Let's have a look at what we got in here. So barren, just hammer tone. Love the blue seats. Sneaking behind here. See the straps there for the seat belts, the seatbelt harness. Incredible. See the way the doors manufactured. It's just lightweight aluminum, nothing to it. Riveted together. Wiper motor way up in there. Look at the other side of the engine bay here. I love the twin distributors at the end of the valve covers there. The way the lume's all tied up. What a beauty. what looks like a 1950 Ferrari 340, I'm gonna guess. Yeah, it's a 1951 Ferrari 340 America Barchetta. Love the color scheme on that. Moving right along to a 1967 206 Dino Spider, like a hill climb race car. 1970 Ferrari 512M, and a Daytona Spider in a great hue of metallic gray. Girardo this year. Oh my God. Just going down the line at Girardo. So earlier I started with the 1953 375 Mille. Then a 2002 Ferrari 550 Maranello Pro Drive, one of 10. One of the most glorious sounding modern race cars. And this kid's checking out the very unusual colored 1965 Ferrari 275 GTB. Finishing up with a 1990 Ferrari F40. It's just so impressive to have a stand full of Ferraris by Max Girardo. Well done. Oh yeah, I love this 275 GTB in this color. And the centerpiece there, the 63 250 GTO with the 64 body. Incredible. Well done. Love the wheels and tires here. Guys. Okay, I heard rumors that on this Joe Macari stand is the 917 road car, which I really want to see, chassis number 30, but we'll have a look at what else is around. Beautiful Lamborghini S from 1970, black with the gold wheels and the gold sills, amazing. A 1965 275 GTS, McLaren F1 GTR, Mercedes CLK GTR, 1961 250 short wheelbase. Okay, let's see if we can tuck in here. F1 car. And let's see if they'll let me on the stand. Excuse me. Can I come on? Oh, thank you. Okay, here we go. Here it is. This is a car I've wanted to see for a long time. You know, I went to Amelia Island, they had a 917 class. I went to Pebble Beach, they had a 917 class. But they did not have this car. This is Porsche 917 chassis 030. What a treat to finally see it. So what makes this special is this was the one that was converted for road use. So it has a full interior in there. Not sure if it comes through in the plexi. And it has a muffler system. Wow. There it is. So this was owned by a certain Mr. Rossi, Count Rossi of Martinium Rossi, the famous alcohol company, and he purchased this car from Porsche, I believe in 1964, had it converted for road use, registered it in Alabama of all places, and it's been road registered in the United States since then, and it's touted to be the most expensive 917 ever sold. There it is, the only 917 road car in the world. Wow. Here we're with Richard Mille, sponsor of so many great classic car races and events. And they have a Ferrari Daytona 365 competition car from 1970. Chassis number 13715. The color, the yellow really blows out right there. With a 512 BBLM. Then it keeps getting better as we go into view here for a 250 LM. The number of top spec cars here is really amazing. So this 250 LM, chassis number 5901 from 1964. Then a real big heavy hitter here. Oh my God, Ferrari 412P. Wow. So this is 412P, chassis number 0584 from 1967. Big 4-liter V12 producing 420 horsepower. One of the most sensuous Ferrari designs of all time. The other side of Richard Mille here is so impressive. Look at this, the 2023 Le Mans winning Ferrari, still all dirty. What a great sight for everybody to see, but it just keeps on going. Ferrari 312 PB and the 365P that I saw at the Goodwood Revival. It has the most glorious sound on track, beautiful Drogo bodywork. It's so amazing. Look at it. That is one gorgeous Ferrari. I think I like it more than the Ferrari 330 P3, P4. Let's see if we can go and get a side view. All these people. Yeah, Simon Kidston is dealer extraordinaire. Let's see what he has this year. Lamborghini Espada. Wow, what a popular stand. Everybody's checking out this Espada. Is it restored? Is it nice? Wow, it's really nice. Look at that. Beautiful presentation. And a light green. Very cool. Whoa, Chopin 962 CR sitting right there. That's fantastic. Let's get a front view of that. Everybody's kind of chilling out here on couches next to a wonderful Ferrari GTO, the Tourist Trophy GTO that was owned by John Shirley. And then we have the ultra rare green on beige French delivery short nose 275 GTB that Simon just had restored in Italy. Wow, the Marshall headlights in yellow, beautiful. So this was restored by the experts in Italy. I forget what the company is, but it's about as good as it gets with the alloy wheels. Dark blue. You can see my reflection there. Holy. Then we have very unusual car. It's a Plexi Daytona Spider. Oh, there's a lot of people here. Beautiful yellow color. So 1971 Daytona Spider, unique factory color. It's not a Plexi, sorry. It just has a painted front nose. Interior in there. Wow, look at this Nard Spider. I don't think I've ever seen this one in a dark metallic blue before. From 1967, has original ownership for 46 years and it's still with its second owner. What wonderful provenance. A big X tires, Michelin X tires. Oh, red interior. Wow, what a car. Then we have an Aston Martin DB3S in metallic gray. Unusual color for an Aston Martin. Ruben, lots of cars here. And then a last look at the Chopin 962 CR. Excuse me. (1992). So Vern Chupin made a road-going version of the 962, and here it is. It was very well developed. It was very expensive. Very few were made. Only 7. I believe it has carbon fiber bodywork. An unreal supercar. Having a look inside the 962, a whole lot of Alcantara. You can see the steering wheel here. Some of the gauges are done. Look at that flat 6 engine. Love the intake planium here, the carbon fiber fan. Another planium for the intercooler. Big sequential transmission back there. Exhaust. It's on cats, so it's definitely a road-going car. And a really nice feature, really eye-popping, is the gold leaf on the inside of the engine bonnet. Wow. Even little details here like the fuel filler cap. What a great car. Probably say that a million times today, haven't I? Gentleman's going to show us the interior of the car that just got restored.
The interior is mostly preserved.
It's preserved interior. It looks new. Look at the inserts on those seats. Perfection. And the door panel. And up into here. Wow, what a beauty. Look at that wooden wheel. And headliner. Wonderful. A little light here. See how well done it is. Awesome, thank you so much. Yeah, have a look at the engine of Simon Kidston's restored 275. It's so wonderful. All the fits and the finishes. So you see the fuel line that's been remade, but small little attention to detail, like the original tags on the air filter. Wow, what an impressive restoration. So the Lucas Huni stand from Switzerland is a sight to behold here. It is massive. And I'm going to start off with this 1961 Ferrari 275 competition car raced by Pedro and Ricardo Rodriguez. I think it's 3005 GT, and it's a CFAT competition car. So it has a high-spec engine, plexiglass windows, alloy bodywork, fast fuel filler, aluminum bumpers. What a showpiece. And moving right along, we have a Ferrari 250 Europa, I believe from 1954. So I think this has the Lampredi 250, which is a little different than later cars. Great color combo on cream on red. Then a huge heavy hitter. I'll zoom in here. It's a Bugatti Atlantic. This was the one that was re-restored by Paul Russell and company, using as much original bodywork as possible, because this one was the one that was in the train crash. It just keeps going though. Here we have a Ferrari 375 Mille, the top spec Ferrari of the time. I believe 4-liter car, overall contender for big wins. And we'll just excuse these guys. Then we have Alfa Romeo, I believe an 8C. It's a Scuderia Ferrari car from 1962. Lemans winning. What? Is that true? Wow. We'll keep moving along here. Alfa Romeo TZ. Lovely look at the Bugatti Atlantic and its wonderful profile. A Lancia back behind it. Alfa Romeo, probably a 1650. So 6-cylinder car, no, 6C 1750 Grand Sport Zagato from 1930. Love the central light and the way it's supported. And look at that. Aston Martin DB3S. Looks like a Bugatti 8-liter, the second one we've seen today. Wow, this stand at Lucas Huni, what a showstopper. And yet another treat on the Lucas Huni stand is this GT40 Mark I, chassis number 1038, with lots of great racing history. And look at how original this car is. Unrestored. Wow. Just pouring over the details here. Fuel filler cap. And the cracked fiberglass bodywork. What an impressive car. I've never seen this one. Looks like another clamshell in behind there for it as well. Unrestored GT40 race car. Original spares for the GT40. I love this crate. The old calipers, corroded mag wheels, and a spares box. What an incredible car. Having a closer look at this Type 59 on the Lucas Huni stand. This is a car, a Grand Prix car through and through from 1934 that was almost exclusively raced by Pierre Dreyfus. There are very few original surviving Type 59s in the world. It'd be really nice to see that inline 8-cylinder engine, but this car just exudes originality and authenticity. Wow. One of the world's great Bugattis on the stand at Lucas Huni. Kind of known for these cutouts in the chassis, very iconic of the Type 59. It's been to Goodwood, of course, why not? And of a different era is this Type 13, I believe, Bugatti Brescia. So this is kind of where it all started for Bugatti. And wow, how far did they go after all those years? See the dual magnetos in there, wooden steering wheel. What does it say, the Type 13 specification model, 16 valve, 1.5 liter engine. Very iconic horseshoe radiator. One of the very first Bugattis in the world. Manual drum brakes, cable operated. Wow. And one last look at the ultra dramatic Type 57 Atlantic. Wow. Awesome. See the rivets in there. Just a sneak peek of that interior. All the louvers on the hood. I'm not sure what Augttes is, but I'm a big fan of the Pegassos they have here today. Pegasso, of course, a Spanish supercar manufacturer. This one from 1952 with factory coachwork. Love that green color. And then this is built on the same chassis and platform, but as a much more competition bodywork from 1952 called a Lemans. I love all the rivets in the front here. Wonderful Pegasso. Nice Alfa Romeo there, probably a 1750. Porsche 910. Wow, what is this? I have no idea. A Pescara, 8-cylinder. What are we looking at? 1961 Nacional Pescara. Incredible 8-cylinder, dual overhead cam, supercharged engine, a 1931 hill climb special. They say better than a Mercedes SS and an Alfa Romeo 8C. I don't know about that. Great cars in behind there. And another Pegasso coming into view, one I've never seen, a Cabriolet Souchik. Wow. Having a look at Mercedes this year, an unrestored, untouched 300 SL, the restorer's dream, but you should probably leave it alone and just clean it up. Next to a fully restored 300 SL in a wonderful, wonderful dark gray. With the wooden skis on the back, that seems to be a popular theme with Mercedes 300 SL. And one of the surviving 300 SL prototypes called the W196. It definitely had most of the shape of the 300 SL figured out, but car number 11, which is what this is. The light on my camera is going crazy. We'll head inside here. Another 300 SL Roadster with a wonderful cream interior. Let's have a look at that. This guy has the right idea. Wow, look at the leather and the colors in there. And then the dashboard with the contrasting red, that is to die for. What a beauty. Interestingly enough, we have some of the parts here from the service department of Mercedes. So we can see all the parts they supply and support the cars and the restorers all over the world. There's the injection system. Wouldn't want to have to set that up ever. But they have all the part number. You can even get a cylinder head assembly from Mercedes-Benz. What a privilege it is to work on these cars and have support from Mercedes directly. Here we can see a seat. It looks like an aluminum bucket. Original spring type. So this is something we never see. Mostly in restorations, there's just a piece of foam, but here we have the proper jute and material and leather, perforated leather. So wonderful to see even the seats being stored correctly. So this is a cutaway of a 300 SL Roadster seat. And of course, you can't do classic motoring without new fuel tanks. They almost always need to be replaced. Look at that. That's available from Mercedes. Such wonderful support for these cars. And what a great display here with car number 11 alongside some of the wonderful cars they've restored. Let's see what HK Engineering produced. Top 300 SL restorer in Germany. Some very shiny finishes underneath the hood. I never tire of this dashboard. And then behind that, they have a body in bare aluminum. I don't know if it's all new. It says just one of 29 alloy bodied 300 SLs. Look at that bare aluminum. Spectacular. The metal finishing here. See spot welds on the hood. Hi. Wow, just a bunch of metal here. Really impressive Porsche turbo display here. So we have the vanilla 930. Really hot light on that. And then the 1977 Porsche 935 Turbo, the most extreme variant of all the 930s. So aggressive. It's kind of a silhouette car, so it only really shares the central tub, and all the other panels are totally different. Look at even the rear fastback here on the back. It's totally different. This was developed for IMSA racing. I'm not exactly sure. It's so wild. I'm here with Osenat. Osenat, not sure how you pronounce that, but they have some amazing coach-built cars here. Have a look at this 1948 Delahaye 135, coachwork by Chaperon. Then jumping to the pre-war, we have a 1937 Delage D8 120 with Chaperon bodywork again. Real Concours d'Elegance piece. And I love this coupe. Is it a Galerie? Nope, it's a Fagoni. Coupe Fagoni 1951 Delahaye 135 MS. But it just keeps going. Look at all these cars. We have some car here in bare metal. Look at that. Is that a recreation? What is this? Let's have a look. It's a 1947 Delahaye 135 MS with coachwork by Chaperon. Looks like it's in bare steel. You can see all the different sections here and the hammer welds. I guess this is just ready for paint. Kind of interesting to see the interior in there. Wow, look at that clear steering wheel. Whew, beautiful. What a Concours d'Elegance car here in bare metal. How do you say it? Osenat? Osenat?
Yes.
Osenat?
Osenat auction house.
Okay, beautiful. It's an auction house, I see. So I worked my way through these free-war cars, and oh my God, I see some incredible Lancias over here. Oh my God, look at the Astura. Look at that. 1936 Lancia Astura pin. This is Pininfarina's masterpiece. Pre-war, one of Pininfarina's pre-war masterpieces. Look at the waterfall grille and the accents that run down the hood. Wow. That's Concours d'Elegance through and through. Next to a Lambda, I believe. Beautiful color combo. Dark green on greeny gray. Perfect. 1934 Lancia Astura Viotti. On the other side of Osenat here, so many great French cars. 1951 Delahaye 235, coachwork by Chaperon, 4-seat cabriolet. Wow, look at this coupe. 1947 Delahaye 135 MS. Wow, that is wonderful. And then a 1939 Talbot T23 with Chaperon coachwork. And what I love about this are these louvers that run down the side, the half moon shaped louvers, very Chaperon. Made it to the Fiskens stand, and this Artcurial Motorcars display is so fantastic. They have the transporter here. They have the C-type and the D-type sitting on top of the transporter. What a great Jaguar display. You can see my friend Michael just absorbing it and taking it all in. Wow, isn't that a sight? This transporter is one of the very best in the world. Well, my friend Michael here discovered that there's an LT1 or 2 or 3 XK120 in the back here. What a surprise, a little sneak
hopefully we get
peek in there. Wow. Yeah, this transporter is wonderful.
Figure out where this car is now located.
So just going to enjoy the middle of the Fiskens stands. We have a 1930 4.5 liter blower and a wonderful Seata 208 CS with competition bodywork. See how sleek this is designed. I think there are very few of these in the world, just a handful. For lightweight alloy competition, we have a Porsche 911 GT1. Look at that, it's an Evo from 1997. This is chassis number GT109. That is so vibrant. Wow, this stand blows me away. Alfa Romeo T33 TT-3 from 1972. That single-seater race car, the seat is almost in the middle of the car. Chassis number 11572-010, Auto Delta Works team car. Wow. I love the way the grill's kind of offset. And we got Gregor Fiskens Valkyrie. Look at that. '69 Porsche 908-2, car number 18. They call this the Flounder. The coming to view is a 1969 Lola T70. Pardon? 1931 Invicta that these guys are checking out. And a gorgeous 1931 8-liter coupe. In the center of this Messina Classics stand is the one and only XK120 Pininfarina Coupe. This is the one restored by CMC Motorcars. It won awards all over the world a few years ago. So spectacular. There. Oops. There's a first for me. AMG GT1 production car. Wow. A wild rear end. I love the Mercedes star pattern that fades away on down the side of the car. Oh yeah, well, let's go in there. Car collector. Amazing stuff. 1 of 10 in the world, Bugatti Cento Dieci's, kind of an homage to the EB110. He's at an $8 million price tag, I think 8 million euros. And we'll keep going down here. They have a Peugeot 205 Turbo 16, rear-engined rally car, 4-wheel drive, really amazing livery. Then a Bugatti EB110. This is what inspired the Bugatti we just saw. And we end off with a Pagani Zonda Cinque 1 of 5, the most desirable Pagani in the world, I think, from 2009. Has that really characteristic stripe going down the center with the bare carbon fiber. Let's see if they'll let us get a view from behind, because this is just so spectacular. Can I go in? Oh, thank you. Now look at the Pagani Zone 5. So this is the first one of 5 maybe. Wow. Car collector. Amazing stand this year. So Dutch Galerie Aaldering have brought an XK120 alloy. They want 298,000 euros for from 1949. They say one of 184 left-hand drive alloy cars built. But if I just look around here, their display has so many amazing cars. I can't even cover them. They're so tightly packed in there. Love that Alfa Romeo, that Countach. Just keep going down the way here. I see a Bizzarrini for a short wheelbase. But isn't this striking? A TWR XJ220 race car. This is from 1993. They call it the XJ220C Lemans. It's a factory Lemans entry. Participated in 1993 and 1995. One of only 3 built in the world. Oh, I love the color. Look at that. Just continue down here. We have a Bizzarrini. It's a 5300 GT Strata from 1965. Great racing history, they say. Ferrari 246 Dino for 435 euros. 435,000 euros, I should say. 1961 Ferrari 250 GT short wheelbase, sorry. And a Ferrari 500 Superfast. What I love about the Superfast is the fastback design. This one's in a really, really dark green. It's from 1964. They say the 11th of 36 built. Only 20,000 miles from new. Maybe they won't let me sneaking on the stage and getting a view of the rear of this car. Wow, look at the rear end. It's so fast back. The whole bodywork just kind of pinches at the back. Amazing. I'm going to keep going because there's such wonderful cars here. Got a Maserati Ghibli Spider from 1970. It's a 4.7. They want 695,000 euros for this. Wow, that's a really expensive Ghibli Spider. Let's have a look at the interior. Citroën DS, little Italian car, Mercedes 300 SL. It just keeps going. What a great display here with the Galerie Aaldering from the Netherlands. This is the top one. We're at the Thiesen and Rossier stand. In front of me is a Porsche 9046 Works racing car, chassis number 12. One of approximately only 5 Works 904s built. 24 hours in Le Mans, 1,000 kilometers of Nuremberg history from 1975. So these were fiberglass Porsches, the first of the fiberglass Porsches that eventually led up to the 917. Beautiful Porsche 550A, one of 40 Works 550A Spiders in a semi-gloss silver. They don't say the chassis number. Let's have a look at the interior. Looks very well done. Here's how you get access to the engine and the carburetors. This flap kicks up. La Galerie Des Damiers. has this to die for 1955 Cooper Maserati A6 GCS. So bit of an Italian Anglo hybrid with the Cooper bodywork and this to die for little aluminum 6-cylinder engine. Wow, what a work of art. So it's an X1 of, ex-Roy Salvaderi, ex-Goodwood car. You see the engine number there, 2052. Really beautiful Webers and stacks. Radiator header tank. Just pull back here. Got the interior in here, really Spartan and wonderful with the tartan seats. Wow, what a treat. Beautiful Cooper Maserati. On the same stand here is my first Citroën DS, and I really can't go to Rétromobile and not feature one of the goddesses. And this one's really interesting design. It's a coupe by Frua, short wheelbase, and they say this is the only coupe surviving from the 12 or 13 made, sorry. Looking like very original interior. Love seeing that cracked leather in the dashboard. Wow, what a great car. Here at the Ivan Dutton stand, the Duttons are really known for Bugattis, so there's a few Bugattis tucked away over there, but what I'm really impressed with is this 1962 Ferrari 250 Lusso prototype. So this has a lot of little distinct details that were differentiated from the later cars. I believe these bumpers are unique to only the first few cars, or maybe just this one, but this is where it all started. This is the Paris Motor Show car, and a lot of people call this the most beautiful Ferrari ever made. And I tend to agree with them to a point. I do love the fastback design. And it's really nice to see the prototype. Oh yeah, here we go. So at the rear, have these really unique taillight lenses and reflectors that are only on this car. I think this bumper treatment's different as well. But what a neat Ferrari here to see with Ivan Dutton. Here on the stand of Jack Braam Ruben. He's a Dutch collector. He has a really nice display this year, including this Warblofen Alfa Romeo. I think it's a 2300. Now Warblofen is a Swiss coach builder. And in Switzerland they had really heavy import fees. So we see a lot of unique Swiss cars with coachwork like this. And there's just such little details, like the way these headlights are scalloped into the fenders, the way that the grille is done and recessed into the bodywork. Very subtle details that distinguish it from its Italian brethren. Even the accents on the hood. Maybe if I go around here, we get an idea of how dramatic this car looks in the side profile. It's a 4-seat cabriolet with bright red interior. The red interior is looking pretty original. And another nice Bugatti. Type 35, I believe. No, it's a Type 37 from 1926, chassis number 37201. And what a beauty we have here. Alfa Romeo 8C Lungo from 1932, chassis number 64, well used. This is the way I like to see them. The road rash. Tight little cockpit in there. So 8-liter supercharged Alfa Romeo. This is the one everybody wants. Finishing off Jack Braam Ruben on the other side here is this really nice Alfa Romeo. I think it's a 2500. There's no information on it, but I think it's Pininfarina. Yes, Pininfarina. Lungo. Sport Coupe, probably. I love the hubcaps, the painted hubcaps, the big Michelin tires. No, is it Oh, it's Farina. Stablamenti Farina, probably. And then we have a Bugatti here. And we're finishing up with another Alfa Romeo 8C Corto, chassis number 27. This is a car that has a lot of history, as we can read here. It's second place at the Spa, 24 hours of 1932, driven by Taruffi and Il Piloti. Wow. Scuderia Ferrari, history as well. What a collection. What a collection. With the Volante collection this year, I'm really taken by this 1947 Delahaye with Van Vuren bodywork. I think it's a 4-seater, 2-door car, but it has so many wonderful details, like this accent line that runs down the side of the car. It's a large car, probably a one of, and it's the kind of thing that we never see stateside. So very impressed with that one. And this real nice dark burgundy, and then the interior here I believe is a light green. You see that? What a stunning car. Now next to it is another Delahaye. I'm not sure if it's also a Van Vuren. It might be. Nope, it's a Coach Gascon. So it's a 1951 Delahaye Type 135M. Moving on, we have a 1948 Delahaye 3.5 liter Type 135 MS. We have kind of a beat up child's toy car here. And we finish with this 1936 Bugatti Type 57 Grabber Cabriolet, delivered new to Geneva, Switzerland. All components are matching, preserved in its original state. Only 4 cars had this body design, and it does really show a wonderful patina in age. Wow, beautiful, beautiful Bugatti 57. And why not? Let's see what else he's showing off here. Got some carburetors, and we have lights, early Bosch magnetos, HL8, FH8, Centella AR8s. Got some beautiful timepieces there. Some taillights all down here from the Volante collection. And finishing off with some carburation here as well. And a cute little supercharger there at the end. Wow. Look at all the Jags in front of me. I'm getting all jagged up. But a superb, superb XK140 drop head. This blue is just popping out at me right now. From 1956. We got a 3.8 Series 1 coupe and a 4.2 liter open 2-seater. And looks like a interesting color here. Is it bronze? It's an opalescent bronze 3.8. And another early 3.8 Roadster. Oh, and the centerpiece here looks like a modified XK150. Beautiful paint on that. Wow. These guys are checking it out. Oh yeah, look at this XK150. It's a 3.4 liter. Has an S badge on it. Not sure if it's a real S, from 1959. Here's the information here, all in French for everybody. And it has these really wonderful little bucket seats made up in here. Oh, the color of the leather in this is just superb. And then let's see how the pillar chrome is. So I'm having a look at the pillar chrome here as it goes around. Uh-oh, they put a screw in there. That's okay, we can forgive them. But yeah, okay, so the piping for the fenders, same as the interior. Kind of going for a custom look here. Yeah, beautiful XK150. I'm just gonna swing around here because I kind of want to check out this 140 drop head from the inside. They have such a glorious interior. Here we have the spats. And look at the woodwork in there. Beautiful. '56 Jaguar XK140. And the information there, you can see the chassis number. Wonderful. From Atelier des Couteaux. Here we go. It's classic racing cars by Geoffroy Peter. I think this is a Ferrari 6-cylinder. I think it's called a 312. Don't quote me on that. Then they have the Bentley EXP Speed 8. One of these is a Le Mans winner. Not sure if this is it. And a rally version of a Ferrari 308. Love the lights on the front and the wheels. What a spectacular looking car. Let's see how these lights are affixed here. So we got some Oscar Indias. And I love the way that it has a Zeus fastener and it's riveted on. Oh, the little white accent line running down. Look at that. What a great 308. Look at that. Wonderful. Made it to Jim Stokes, leading Alfa Romeo specialist extraordinaire. So what do we have here? It's an Alfa Romeo 158 Alfetta. Look at that supercharger. Holy smokes. That is so impressive. And so Jim Stokes specializes in remanufacture of Alfa Romeo components. And look what they have for us today. A remanufactured Alfa Romeo 8-cylinder engine. Brand new. With it. Oh man, that is so wonderful. Something's started up there. See the components that Jim Stokes makes? So we have brake components here. Supercharger components. Nice little 6-cylinder 1750 engine there. And they've been working on something here. Looks like brand new coachwork. It's an Alfa Romeo RL number 1. Wow. Alfa Romeo RL number 1. The coachwork on this is wonderful. Look at what it looks like under the hood. Thiesen here have an amazing two-tone Mercedes. And just pulling back to a 1957 Porsche 356. Sorry, my camera's wigging out on that one. But it's a Carrera GT Speedster, so very, very rare. And they're looking for 790,000 euros. 1966 for a 275 GTS. Now I'll pull back on the info sheet's way over there. It's a 8C 2300 Grand Sport. So predecessor to the 8C 2900. It's one of the most sought after vintage racing cars in the world. And we're going to end on, oh come on, the best car here. An original 1952 Jaguar C-Type. And they say this one's exceedingly original, matching numbers engine. Very cool. Cecil cars. Perry. Some wonderful Jags. Please, XK150 drop head. Let's have a look. There we are. There's the chassis number. Ah, so bright. 170,000 euros. Wow, let's see what that buys us. Pillar chrome. Oh, we got another screw in the chrome. We can forgive that though, can't we? Wow, look at the wood in there. And that steering wheel, that's pretty fancy. Nice luggage. Very cool. An Aston Martin DB24 Mark III. My favorite of the DB2s. White with this glorious red interior. Looking very original. Let's have a look in here. Wow. Look at those seats. Looking very, very original. And the engine. Heart of the beast. This is a, they want 235,000 euros. Chassis number 3003, matching numbers. Old tires there, it's on old Avons. Love the tools on the firewall. You know, a heater in there. Double pumper SU. Very nice, very nice. And they also have an E-Type on offer. Let's have a look at that. Looks like an early car, 3.8. Oh, really early. Probably a late 1961 maybe. Very cool hue of opalescent dark blue, I believe. Let's see what the info plaque says. Flat floor E-Type. Made in January of 1962, so it's slightly off. They say it's a matching numbers car. They basically want 199,000 euros. Look at this Voisin. Holy smokes. So Tessier has it. I think it's a recreation or an interpretation of a Voisin, I'm not sure. Wow, the lines on this car. So it's a Avion Voisin C28 Aerosport 1935 prototype. 3.31 night valve sleeve engine. Holy moly. Look at the way the top here retracts. Wow. That is one dramatic fastback. I don't think you can beat it. That is the ultimate fastback, I think. Holy. What is this? It's a Vignale Speciale of some sort with American fins on the back. Is it a Lancia? Looks Italian, doesn't it? Love the two-tone paint. The accent chrome. The hubcaps, it's a Fiat. You can tell because Fiat's on the hubcaps here. Oh, look at the front. Wow. It's a custom bodied Fiat. Next to a Lancia with that I've never seen anything like this Lancia, but man, I'm enamored with this Fiat. Oh, it looks very original. Look at that steering wheel. Back here. Well, this Lancia has a really interesting four-piece wraparound rear windscreen. I don't know what model I'm looking at, but it's so low slung. Look at the radio. Wow. Now here's a rare one, a 1938 AC 16-70 drop head coupe. So what makes this very unique is they made 600 saloons, but only 60 drop head coupes. Now why I'm kind of interested in the AC like this is it has the same Weller engine as the AC Ace and the Sika in pre-war guys, and the engine dates back to 1919. I have a bit of history working on them with an AC Sika we had in the shop. But I've never seen this. What a very interesting, unusual AC. Look at this. I think it's a replica of the Bugatti Royale Roadster. Look at the engine in there. Massive. Massive, massive. Oh, the white interior. Very nicely done. Okay, we got an Edwardian car. It's a Dion Bouton 30, Roy de Belge. Massive front headlights. Next to that, is that a BNC? I believe it might be. Another very original looking car. Yeah, 1929 BNC 529 type Spa. Really nice Lancia there. DS Goddess. Alfa Romeo 8C 2600 SF25 Monza. Okay. And it looks to me like a Alfa Romeo 6C 2500 two-seat cabriolet. Let's see how close I got. Pininfarina bodywork. Very original looking inside. Got bakelite knobs, leather interior. Yeah, Alfa Romeo 2500 SS from 1949. That was pretty close. And okay, very interesting. Rolls-Royce Phantom 2 from 1932 with this ultra dramatic limousine bodywork. The history right here. Oh my God, I can't gotta keep going here. Look at this wonderful little Alfa Romeo. That's Z, I believe they're called. So yeah, it's a 1962 Alfa Romeo SC Coda Trunca. Coda Trunca is for the long tail. Just gotta look at that long tail. Here at the Peter Auto Stand. This goes for my vote of the ugliest race car of all time. It's the Chernard and Walker tank from 1925, and I believe this very car did race the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Boat tail design there. It's very original when you get up close to it. So unusual. The way the fender is, it's just wild. Okay, here we go. The dawn of motoring. Some Edwardian cars, and I am really lost. I have no idea what I'm looking at. I think, are they Renaults? I'm not sure. This is a really weird design. We can see the radiator is behind the engine, behind the hood. They're all Renaults, yes. Wow, that is one wild looking Renault. Look at that. Well, Armed Sotheby's private sales here with a 1960 Ferrari 400 Super America short wheelbase cabriolet. Love the light green with red interior. Pretty much the highest spec offering from both Ferrari and Pininfarina from the period. Very few made. I think there's just a handful of cabriolets. This ain't no ordinary Porsche 911. If the NACA duct doesn't give it away, the wheels do. This is a roof Yellowbird prototype, so it must be one of the very first. Love the color of this car. So at one point, these Yellowbirds made by Roof in Germany, kind of a modified Porsche 911, were some of the fastest cars on the planet. And I think a Yellowbird won a shootout in Road and Track, and that really propelled the Roof name. Now, Lois Roof is still going, and Alferbach, I believe, is the name of his town. See the wheels here, pretty deep dish at the back. Yeah, Roof CTR Yellowbird prototype. Here with Skoda, have some big limousines that I've never seen. Some suicide doors, looking very pre-war. It's a 1936 Superb. And these gentlemen here are checking out another Superb 3-liter overhead valve car from 1935. Very unusual kind of bulbous lines on this one. And then another Superb. While they did change the shape of these over the years, this is from 1947. Quite a lot of interesting detail here in the grille, and the headlight treatment. There's a little cute little race car here in the back I've never seen. Let's check it out. It's from 1959. It's called the Skoda 1100 Coupe. So there's the information there in French. I don't know anything about it, but it is just so wonderful looking. The grille here. I didn't know Skoda made a sports car. It looks almost like a British car. Wow. The rear tail fins are quite aggressive. All right, here we go. MG is back, Morris Garages, celebrating 100 years. So what do we got? A little J-Type from 1932, TC from 49, MGA, MGB, and some exciting stuff lined up over there. Maybe we can get a better look. Oh, and at the end here, the new MGB sports car. What do we got? What do we got? So I do love this lineup here. It shows the progression of MG Roadsters throughout the year, starting with this absolutely precious 1930 MGJ type. So this is a race version of the MG Midget. Has a supercharger hiding in the cowl here. I love the little horn in there. And this is really where it started for MG sports cars that kind of transitioned into the everyday road cars like the TC here, which everybody knows. All these are right-hand drive with these huge big wheels. This one being from 1949. And then the MG TC to the TF to the MGA couldn't be worlds apart. It's hard to believe these are both post-war cars. And the venerable MGB, the quintessential British sports car, these are wonderful. I'd say anybody on a budget, get an early MGB. They're the best sports car for the buck. Now here at Rétromobile, they've launched the all-new electric roadster called the Cyberster. I'm not a huge fan of the name. This is an all-electric MGB, and it's the evolution of MGB roadsters. They say they're going to market this car later this year, so these will be on the roads. Let's have a look at the front here. Pretty nice looking car from the front, I'm not going to lie. Let's see if we can get a side view here. Oh, it's a lot bigger than the MGB there. These wheels are pretty wild. Big Brembo brakes in there. Side skirts, well detailed there at the end. Let's have a look inside. Wow, really does have that Miata kind of line inside and out. There it is, the new Cyberster, which should be on the roads in the coming years. MGB is back. But that's not it. MGB is a major sponsor this year. Look at all these fantastic cars in front of me. Let's check them out. And this is an LMP2 car that was raced at Lemans, looking very original. This was an attempted rebrand of MGB that I think was kind of unsuccessful. I keep saying MGB, but it's MG, the brand. Morris Garages, of course. This is badge engineering, because I believe this was like a Lola, I can't remember. So it's a Lola rebadged as an MG, just for marketing purposes. Let's see if we can get the cockpit in there. And one last look at the Cyberster. No, I probably won't be buying one of those. Europe only. I'm going to pull back here slowly. And coming into view is an MG Metro 6R4. This has to be the fastest MGB of all time. These were meant for Group B rally racing, four-wheel drive, a massive turbocharged engine in the rear. And I think this one comes from the Gaydon Motor Museum. A lot of the cars we're going to see coming up come from the Gaydon Motor Museum in England. And we can sneak a peek inside here. Very purposeful race car. Looks like a very original example. See the engine hiding back there, the scoop on the side. I know at Gaydon they have the MG Metro 6R4 prototype, which actually has a different engine in the back. It's too bad that's not here today. Beside it, I'm not sure. It looks like an early midget, fabric body, boat tail. Very nice. So small and rudimentary. Now that is quite a comparison here with the early midget racer. These cars couldn't be further apart. Wow, the MG brand has come so far, and this display really shows that. Let's give an idea of the whole stand here. They have some hospitality over there. Here's a cool car from Gaydon. It's Cecil Kimber's MGB Old Number 1. This is where it all started. Cecil Kimber was modifying, I believe, Morris chassis to go racing in his garage. And this is the very first one. Where it all started, right here. So we move from the first car. Actually, I want to get a look at his badge because it's pretty sweet. This type of radiator is called a bullnose. Now in behind the first MG is the most successful MG race car of all time. These are the K3s. I think there was only a handful of these made. They raced all the prominent races, including 3 at the Mille. Very successful, supercharged 6-cylinder cars. So superchargers hiding in the cowl there, like we saw with the J2 earlier. And these were produced from 1933 to 34. Very capable sports racers. Tiny little seat in there. Look at the wheel on the shifter linkage. The interior in this is really interesting. Big tack, that's all you need. I think there's a quote from Fangio talking about racing this car, and when he got out of the car, somebody asked him how the brakes were, and he says, I don't know, I didn't use them. Pretty funny. So coming into view here is a very rare car I've never seen. It's a 1935 MGKN. So building on the successes of the K3, they built a road-going version. I had no idea. Only 20 examples were made. 4 are known to survive. And here's one in front of me right now. That is like a TC on steroids. Look at the lights here. And the cloisonné badge looks really nice on the radiator. How about that? That is a very neat MG. Going to continue on. These gentlemen are checking out one of the MGAs that was works prepared for rally racing. It's an original rally race car with a hard top. Look inside here. Pretty stock looking car. So it has Liege Rome Liege badging on it. Very famous MGA. Moving right along, we have 2 sporting cars, Formula type cars. Now this here is a MGTB, and they call it the Riviere Fletcher. That's the name right there. And it was made by a garage. I believe the name's down here. I don't see it. Peter Monkhouse, maybe, of Monaco Motors, crafted this car to go racing based off MGT series components. It's a 2-seat car for sports car racing. It's very well done. Okay, beside it is the only single-seater MG in the world. Look at the exhaust. I absolutely adore this MG R-Type single-seat race car. It has a lot of unique features. As we go around, they come into view. So it's a 4-cylinder, 750cc, single-seat MG that weighs only 600 kilograms, and it goes 200 kilometers an hour. Oh, look at the linkage for the brakes. Now what's really unique about this MG, it has independent rear suspension. So as I go around to the rear here, we'll zoom in on it and have a look. MG with independent rear suspension, quite an unusual feature. The control arms are just tiny. Come back out. Yeah, so that's the MG R-Type. Very nice to see it here. Wow, look at that fuel filler. Let me zoom in again. Another car that I've never seen. It's such a privilege to be here in Paris and see these MGs here today. So glad to share them with you. Okay, we'll keep going. Another car from the Gaydon Motor Museum is this split early MGB GT in the most unusual color. It's like a mauve, it's hard to say, and it's exceedingly original. So let's go in between the car here. It's completely split in half and kind of painted and chromed up as a showpiece would be. And I love how it shows the nestling of the fuel tank and how all that running gear runs through the bodywork. They've split everything in half. Even the seats, we can see the foam, the original leather. All the radiators are split in half. Very unusual color of blue. I don't think this was factory color. See the headliner in here. And of course the engine as we go through here. Even the heater matrix is cut in half. Look at that. We got a chromed pressure plate. Again, this unusual green color. Yeah, that's so unusual for these gentlemen to be standing in between a singular car. The other half's right there. Okay, now let's finish off with the centerpiece of Rétromobile. This is the poster car. It's MG EX 181, I believe. It's a land speed record car based off of an MGA mechanical. This was raced at Bonneville twice. The first time, it achieved nearly 250 miles an hour with Phil Hill at the wheel. Look at the little cockpit screen on there. Then it went back to Bonneville, I believe in 1959, and they cracked 250 miles an hour, the fastest MGB in the world. It's such a dramatic shape. It looks like a UFO or something that come out of aeronautics. What a spectacular piece. I have to guess it's made of aluminum. I love the two-tone. It kind of has a dark green, light green separation with a bit of chrome trim. The wildest MGB in the world, that's for sure. Let's go around it one more time. Very French. I love the chandeliers. Very classy here at Rétromobile. Wow. What a car. C'est magnifique. C'est magnifique. Back here at the MG Cyberster, and look at that, the doors open upwards. That was quite a surprise, and not something that you would see from an entry-level sports car. Once you really get in there and have a look at the dashboard. 3 big LCD screens. Yeah, it's an electric car. I think I'd still just take an MGB. Made it to the Artcurial stand here. They're the official auction house for Rétromobile. And in front of me is a wonderful Lusso, but there's so many cars here. Let's go see what we find. Wow, look at this Maserati Ghibli, beautiful fastback design. I believe this might be a 4.9. The information's on the other side. I think it is a 4.9. Yeah, Maserati Ghibli from 1971, 4.9 liter SS. Wow, this is a wonderful Ghibli. So the 4.9 liter SS is a higher spec than the 4.7 that's more commonly seen. And just a wonderful shape. It kind of reminds me of an E-Type fastback. Then what do we have here? BMW M1 Pro Car and Street Car. What a wonderful comparison that is. What a great shape that is. So many, it's a wonderful angular design. And then if I just go over here, we can see this one with the wings and the flares, the Pro Car. It's so aggressive. Yeah, I think there's good business actually converting these Pro Cars to road cars. They're just it's just BMW's best car, really. So yeah, this is a 1990 M1 Pro Car, 1 to 1.2 million euros. Oh, those BBS wheels, center lock. Amazing car. Now going way down the ladder in BMW performance, we have the 2002 Turbo, very sought after model. Looks more like a sedan than any kind of sports car to me. So where do we go next? Oh, I like this. I don't see this very often, these Lancias. I think they're called, I can't remember the name of this model. We just never see them in North America. It's a Flaminia 2.83C. It's a really, really well proportioned, kind of a roadster, hardtop looking coupe. But then I'm going to scroll back here and we have a much more desirable Lancia. 1967 Lancia Flaminia Super Sport Zagato. Such a wonderful shape, double bubble. I love the headlight treatment here with the cowl for the headlight. What a wonderful little Zagato. Let's have a look at the rear. That is a nice Lancia. Okay, then we have a De Tomaso in bright orange. I used to be really into orange cars, but lately I'm just not feeling it. It seems like he's sitting pretty high. I love the Mangusta though. It has just such wonderful lines. You can see the engine here. Look, it's way in there. V8 powered. Looks like a very original car. Look at the decal there. Have a look inside. Dainty little steering wheel for what this is. Scroll back. This is going to be like a 20-minute video if I go this slow, but I hope you guys don't mind. Kind of you're appreciating these cars with me. So that's a De Tomaso Mangusta. Then we're going to move on to a very desirable car, an Iso Griffo from 1975 in this very unusual color. Go down here, look at the intake scoop at the bottom. Very sophisticated looking design. Now I think these have big 7-liter V8s. I think that's why this hood is kind of propped up. So 1973 Iso Griffo Series 2, 300 to 400,000 euros. The only thing about this car, I don't know if it comes through the glass there, it's not automatic. Okay, next. Well, I don't see many of these. Lamborghini Yalpa. Very few Yalpas made. This one, white on red. I don't know what to think. It's an unusual car. I think it's neat. I think it's V8 powered in the rear. Not Lamborghini's most successful model, but I do appreciate the awkwardness of the design. Beautiful OZ wheels. This striking red interior. Can't complain with a gated 5-speed there. Okay, we'll scroll back. Looks like Ferruccio signed this car. Oh no, it's just a decal maybe. Then we have a suite of Lamborghinis here. Classic Lamborghinis, where it all began. Lamborghini 350s and 400 GTs. The unique feature about these cars is the glass, actually, believe it or not. The door glass is curved. Maybe I can show it on this side. I think this is a 400 GT. Yes, it is. 2+2 Touring. 350 to 400,000 euros. But does it come through in the camera? That's curved glass. That was an insane thing to do, put curved glass on a door. Probably makes the door very thick. And then we have what looks like a 350 GT there in this deep bronze color. So this is where it all began for Lamborghini. It has a Bizzarrini designed V12, Touring design body. This is Lamborghini's strike at Ferrari. A deep red interior, kind of an awkward spec, I would say, with the gold. I don't know if that was so successful, but today they want 400 to 500,000 euros for this. And then a Spider. It must be a conversion. I don't think Lamborghini ever delivered a Spider, an open top 350, but don't quote me on that. I think I do prefer the coupe lines more. But yeah, it's a conversion. It's a 400 GT Spider conversion. But it gives us a good look at the interior of these cars. Becker Europa radio in there. Then we're moving on to more heavy hitters. So a Ferrari 275 GTB. Seen a lot of these this week here for Paris Car Week. Very nicely detailed engine bay. The 3 downdraft Webers. This is a 1955 Ferrari 275 GTB Berlinetta. Short nose. I really do like the short nose. Oh, I like the light package on this too with the quad Corellos. Very French. Very, very French. Wow. Oh man, look at all the cars here. Must be like 200 cars. In front of me is a beautiful Pininfarina Cabriolet. These are such well-made cars. I'll show you what I mean. Where the headlights are integrated. But then you go to the windscreen here and the way the chrome's all done. Very much like an E-Type with the pillar chrome, but one piece all the way around. That would be a pain to reinstall. But such gorgeous cars, these Pininfarina Ferraris. Okay, I'm gonna take a break, catch my breath, see if I can find something exciting, and we'll restart from there. Okay, we're back, and I know there's a Jaguar sitting right here, a drop head, and I do like my Jaguar drop heads, but I do have to pay a lot of respect to French culture, and specifically the Citroën DS, the Goddess. It's really an amazing car of engineering complexity that I would never want to restore, but I do appreciate these cars thoroughly. I think they made over 1 million of these DS's in various guises, and they all have that peculiarity about them with the hydraulic system, and yeah, something I'd never want to get into. But here we are looking at a few. Not really liking this color, but there you go. Neat hubcaps. And then really unusual Citroën here, something I've definitely never seen. Oh my God, the rear window line is so weird. So this is a 1962 Citroën Ami 6 Berlin. Okay, so very unusual feature. The roof kind of has a overhang. Then I come to the back here and we have an even more aggressive overhang. That is so weird. Just have a look at this Berlin. So low because it doesn't raise until the hydraulic system starts. Such a wonderful shape. Then we have some 2CVs. It's the quintessential French car, isn't it? And this one is looking very original. This is the kind of 2CV I'd want to buy and just mechanically restore. There's the tiny engine in the back, air-cooled. See the fan on there? Looks like a bit of a barn find discovery. Then in the front here, man, do I not know these engines? That's the transmission in there, I believe, or I'm not sure actually. Maybe it was the heater I was looking at in the back. It's just 2 engines. So it's called the Citroën 2CV Sahara. 60 to 100,000. This gentleman's looking in here. Looks like very original fabric. And a heater maybe underneath. Well, that's a fuel tank, and auxiliary fuel tanks in there. Kind of goes through the door. But is this a bi-motor? Does this have 2 motors? I believe it does, because there it is, another air-cooled engine right there. Yeah, if I had to take any of these Citroëns home with me today, it'd definitely be this one. What a neat car. You can see a more typical one here next to it. So just last weekend, a car very similar spec to this sold for $3 million US at Barrett-Jackson. So I think a lot of people will be thinking of this car, this 300 SL from 1953, and wondering if that's the top of the market or has it the whole market gone up. Because here we have a very long-term ownership 300 SL coupe, still on its original Rudge wheels, touched up by Paul Russell, extremely original looking, and it probably is on par with the car that sold at Rétromobile, which was actually restored by my friends at Coachworks where I live in Victoria, BC. But this is, again, a beautiful example and probably should fetch on par with the same amount of money. Original Rudge wheel 300 SL. And if I scroll over here, we have a 300 SL Roadster. The hardtop's in a big box right here. Interestingly enough, we have the body color. It's a two-tone hardtop with the wooden skis on the back and poles. Oh, what a sight. This is probably the highlight of the Artcurial sale, right? It looks to me like a long wheelbase California Spider on Swiss plates in this really, really gorgeous hue of dark blue, which is so hard to get right because sometimes dark blue comes off as purple, but they just nailed it with this one. I love seeing it on the Pirelli Cinturados. This dark blue with this light ivory interior. What a great color combo. Long wheelbase California Spider. All right, well that does it for my tour at Artcurial. They're going to be auctioning off these cars later today, and they do it in the most unusual style. They usually have two gentlemen up on the major stand over there, both talking at the same time. It's uniquely French experience. I can never figure out what's going on, and I think they've really knocked it out of the park this year with regard to all these cars. I mean, look at the Bugattis in front of me. So impressive. 4 Bugattis of Voisin on the end. And if I go over here, this just keeps on going. Just gonna do a quick walkthrough. 330 GTC, 250 short wheelbase. Those are for a private collection that they'll be selling, no reserve. I just love this two-tone Talbot. I think it's called a T16. Oh, let's just keep going here because this Countach has the wildest interior color. Have a look at presentation of the V12 in there. But it's this interior color that really gets me. Look at that. Orange on white. Very, very bold spec, let's put it that way. And then as we go over here, we see some more modern supercars. Really, they have something for everybody here at Artcurial, as long as you're willing to pay up. Look at this Speedtail. That's a pretty expensive McLaren right there. All right, let's go back into the main hall, see if we can find some good cars. Look at the shape on that. Wow. Looks like Bizzarrini is being reborn. Giotto Bizzarrini, of course, the famous Ferrari engineer. And here we have completely brand new, from scratch, a 5300 GT Corsa, what they call the Revival. Wow, look at that. Absolutely superb, shining in the lights. Look at the engine in there. Set way far back. I think the back carburetor actually has to be adjusted through an access hatch. It's pretty pristine for a race car, so shiny and beautiful. We have a yellow one here on the stand as well. Oh, I love it with the gold wheels. That was a good choice. Wonderful spec. It's continuation. How much? How much is this car? 1.65 million, the gentleman tells me, for the continuation Bizzarrini.
Brand new cars.
It looks brand new.
Yeah.
Well done. Oh, look at that. What is it, everybody? I challenge you to name this car. Because I had no idea. What it is a WM race car that raced the 1970 Tour de France. And it has the wildest shape. You can see here pictures of it in 1970 as it raced. There's the specifications in French. And there's the history of the race right there. And this company here called Autodrome Minas Montieri have recreated it. It's back from the dead. It's such a cool car. Wow, I love the shape, the honeycomb going on here, the louvers. Looks like a little 4-cylinder hiding in there. Fantastic. Look at this. What kind of French perversion is this? We have a Bugatti with 2 8-cylinder inline engines. That's so outrageous. That's so outrageous. This guy's giving a tour. Want to know more? You can email him right there. Right. Yeah, I thought Morgan made the 3-wheeler, but here I am in front of a Darmo Special from 1926. It's wild. Also with the motorcycle engine up front. Looks very original. You can see the tag here, Darmo Special. And there's the information of it. And there it is back in the day actually racing. How amazing is that? This is why I love to come to Rétromobile and events like this. Just seeing these cars and discovering things for the first time. It's beautiful. Okay, Delage from 1937, Type 15 S8. Let's go around here, and this has the most incredible engine. Look at the cam covers. Twin overhead cam, inline 8, supercharged. That is really impressive. This chassis, WMG 101. That has to be one of the best Delages in the world. Oh, look at it on the stand. Look at that. Has a different exhaust, that's for sure. Incredible. What is this? What am I looking at? I don't know, is it a DB? Oh, look at that, there it is, racing in period. Look at that. It's a 3-cylinder engine. Well, that's really interesting. Then we have a Leyland Thomas land speed record car from 1922. 200 horsepower, 7.3 liter engine, 193 kilometers an hour at Brooklands. And with the two-tone, I love the light pale blue on white. I don't know what type of engine it has, but there it is in Mille. And there it is. The same race, maybe? Wow, what a piece of history I have in front of me here at Rétromobile. Okay, then behind this is the Bugatti tank. I believe this is from, oh, what's that museum called? The Schlumpf Museum. It's the ugliest Bugatti race car of all time. And some very original race cars coming into view here. Is this, not sure. What do we got? It's a GAR, a GAR, Bull d'Or from 1927. 4-cylinder, 1100cc race car. Love the elegant simplicity of the cowl up front here. There's the information right there. Can you imagine going 170 kilometers in that? Wow. Then we have a Bugatti Type 3635 from 1925. There's what it looked like back in the day. And here it is now. 180 kilometer an hour car. 1.5 liter. Then we'll finish up with a Maserati Type 26 from 1928. Inline 8 Roots supercharged 1.5 liter. 200 kilometers an hour. There's not a lot of Maserati single-seaters in the world. What a treat it is to see the McLaren F1 art car. So this raced the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1995 alongside the winning car with the Clinic livery. This was hand-painted by Cecil and raced at the event. And I believe the artwork has been kind of refinished to make look new here. You can see there the FIA stamping for the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1995. But yeah, one of the most sought after McLaren F1 GTRs. Well, they're all sought after. Oh, look at it, the Cesar license plate. That's really sweet. On the absolute opposite end of the spectrum is this 1957 Isetta VLAM, looking very original. Then we have an Alpine Renault here for the, just gotta sneak around these people. It's a A440 Alpine, very lightweight, 575 kilograms, 285 horsepower. And I'm drawn to this red car I've never seen. I don't recognize it at all. Looks like some custom coach work. It's a Lambert. Don't know anything about Lambert, but very interesting looking roadster. So it's a 1951 Lambert Type CS. Looking like it needs restoration. Amel car. So cycle cars, I think due to French taxes, these were quite popular, but this happens to be an Amel car that was made for land speed records at Montlhéry. It was made in 1928. It's called the MCL Monoplace, and it is just a complete jewel. I love the cowl around the radiator. You can see the turning here, the Amel car badge. I don't think there was a lot of single seat race car Amel cars, but I might be wrong on that. We have the quarter elliptic leaf springs reversed there, and it is just the most gorgeous little Amel car. It's here for the Amel car club. So 1100cc, I'm going to assume a 4-cylinder engine supercharged. Yep. And this 200 kilometers plus on those little tires and wheels. Can you believe it? So this broke records from 1928 through to 1933. Yeah, it broke a record in 1933 at 185 kilometers an hour. Wow. Oh yeah, there's a photo of it there at Montlhéry. Here's a car I never get to see. It's called a Samson. These were small little race cars that were raced throughout Europe, including Britain. And I have a bit of affinity for these cars because I've been watching Ivan's Garage, Ivan Dutton, talk about his cars and how well designed these little Samsons were. They were really on par with Bugatti and a lot of the other British makes such as Talbot. Look at the little engine in here, draped in oil, not a problem. I love that. So what specifically are we looking at here? It's a 1928 Grand Sport. This happens to be chassis number 21053. Look at that. No. Another AML car here. This one from 1927 called a C6. And look at that gorgeous 1100cc supercharged engine. Wow. What a beauty. Wow, what an impressive Renault stand we have here. I don't know a lot about what I'm looking at, but this Streamline Special is totally incredible with the big fins on the back. I don't even know what I'm looking at, but I do love the shapes. So it's called the Étoile Villain. That's how you spell it right there. And it is a work of art. See the cockpit. As I come back here, the most dramatic fins. Wow, look at that. What a shape. We have this Renault airplane and a tank, Renault tank. I didn't know there was a Renault tank. This is a Renault Refard tank. Really in a satin finish. It looks like a record car coming into focus here. So this is a Cadron Renault Raphael C. It sounds like it's been remade. 330 horsepower, 8 liter. Wow. What is underneath that hood? What a dramatic looking car. So it must be for speed records. Oh, this is the Nerva Sport, sorry. This is the Nerva Sport. Read about it here. Let's have a look at the rear. 3 records of the world. 168 kilometers. Wow. Really impressive sight. Then another record car. It's massive. Don't know if the scale comes through in the camera, but it's Renault 40CV day record. It's huge. I have to back up so much to get this in frame. Look at that size of that car. Holy. It's really slab-sided. Not a lot of curves on there. So it says it went 190 kilometers an hour with a 40 horsepower engine. Am I reading that right? No way. 6-cylinder, 9-liter, 140 horsepower. That's what it is. Looks like a fabric body. Get up close to it here. Kind of see, yeah, it's fabric on the back. See the way it's held in there. That plane. What a tremendous sight. View of the cockpit there. So it also beat some records for 2,000, 3,000, and 4,000 miles. So endurance records. Oh, that looks so weird. All right, well that does it for my review of Rétromobile, the preview night. That was 4 hours, and while everybody else was having hors d'oeuvres and champagne, I geeked out on the cars for us all. I'd like to know what you thought. I was really impressed. I was really blown away by some of the stands. There were so many people, so much excitement in the air. Definitely gonna come back next year. And that's it. That's all I got from Rétromobile. I know it was a lot. Thanks for holding in there. See you later. Bye-bye.